ルビーちゃん、戻って。死体だよ、これ。悪意、お医者さんかな。違うよ。だって先生は。
Oshi No Ko, episode 12. Wow. If you are familiar with my reviews on Oshi No Ko, depending if you've seen all of them or you've just been around, here's the thing. I talk a lot of smack about not liking the mystery, occult, murder stuff that Oshi No Ko does. And I still, in my heart, I genuinely feel that way. I really love when they go into the relationships and the Akanes and the Kanas and the idol and the acting. I love all the other stuff, but the mystery, occult, I murder revenge, revenge Sith Lord plot doesn't really do much for me. Now, I'm a human being. And sometimes I still go, and I don't want to say backpedal because I still feel that way. But the end of the episode had Ruby finding Aqua's remains. The way I gasped, I went, the way I gasped at that, man, that was such a good ending. That was a fire ending. Now, like I said, I still feel the way I feel. I think that the mystery murders plot stuff, I think that is fine. I think it's fine. It's passable. It's not my favorite thing, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. Ruby, though, Ruby going on this long monologue. Well, let me say this. Akane being a part of both Aqua's journey in this town and with Ruby, I love that she's a part of both. I love that she's kind of the glue that's going to kind of figure things out for both parties. I love that she's so intelligent, and I love that she spent so much time researching I to kind of like become a spiritual successor to I, because she's gonna be able to figure out things quicker because she spent so much time putting those things together. Now, she spends time with Ruby, and Ruby goes on this huge monologue about Amamiya, quotations, Aqua, and how she was in love with her sensei, and her sensei gave her a reason to exist and a reason for being and a reason to keep pushing forward and a reason for this and that and that. She was hopelessly in love with this doctor, okay? And it was made super evident by, all of her time. Her parents never visited her. Like, it was super sad stuff, She spent all of her time with this person, and they shared a common interest in 𝐒𝐡𝐚𝐧𝐬𝐭 and the idol group and everything else. And she goes on a long monologue about, about how she loved him and what's an acceptable age gap. And at this point, bro was like 35. He's like my age, okay? He was probably about 35, maybe give or take a year or two, plus or minus. So he would essentially be right now be like close to 50, probably in like, 48, 48 or 50, somewhere around that ballpark, maybe 52. He'd be like 50 years old, again, plus or minus a couple of years, plus or minus 5 on each side. And I like, freaking Akane is like, oh, well, an acceptable age gap would be like 10 years or something, but if you love what you love, you know what I mean? Like, love comes first. And I love that because, like, a plus 10 years would be like 26. Bro's like, double, gets it to somebody and double it. You know what I mean? So I thought that was really funny. But then, the crow, and then you have the girl in the white, who the girl in the white interjected when Aqua was going on his big monologue with Akane about this guy, Amamiya, and he's going through his past, and I'll touch on that in a minute. But this crow comes around, and then this girl in the white comes around again. Who knows if she's a spiritual being? Who knows if she's the god? Who knows if she's the person or being that is responsible for, you have to assume, but you know, the person or thing or being responsible for reincarnating them, because she was like, isn't it so nice to have these two motherless souls kind of come together and whatever. I don't like that very much, but you know, again, it is what it is. But this crow steals her key and basically rushes her to his body, which is now under a shrine. And he still has the pendant that Ruby gave her on him and his tag, and nobody has found this body apparently. And you know, she discovers his skeleton, and her eyes glow up, and now you can kind of see, and this is my assumption, I don't know, but she'll probably become obsessively involved in finding out what happened to him and probably breaking the doors open. And I imagine that's how the season will end, because we have one more episode left. I think we have 13 episodes. I think, you know, correct me in the comments. I think we have one episode left. So I assume this stuff will come out via Ruby, and boom, the season will end, and we'll kind of get more as we go into next week's episode or next season, you know, eventually for season 3. But what an ending with that. Like, that was so good. And I was like, damn. I was wondering what happened to his body. Did it disappear? You know, if he died, did he just like what happened to his body? It makes no sense for there not to have been a body. Well, now it does, because like, you know, he was behind a shrine or whatever. And that shrine probably has ties to the white-haired girl or the crows or whatever else. So really good stuff. Then for Aqua, you know, he has all the stuff I won't touch on it too much. Basically, the main highlight there is just getting a run through of his past and filling the gaps that we didn't know. Basically, he was motherless. His grandparents raised him. He had a really hard relationship with his grandpa, really good relationship with his grandma. She was really proud of him for becoming a doctor. We got to see his emotions around Ruby, you know, when she was in the hospital, about like trying to be there for her, and he was there during her final moments. And so again, just super sad stuff, but we get to learn more about his history, and it kind of brought him and Akane more together. Last thing I'll say is we did get some Kana fan service this episode as well too. We got Kana, you know, being all cute, and Akane being a super fan, and you know, the 𝐒𝐚𝐧𝐬𝐭 idol stuff. You know, I think there was some comedy with Memcho, you know, sprinkled in there too with her age. All that really top notch. So overall, I think this was a 9 out of 10, maybe 9.5, almost perfect episode. Really good stuff, and it even made me like the thing of which I typically don't. At least at the end, that little mystery, that little thriller, that little twist at the end, I was like, God damn. So I like that moment. So overall, 9.5 out of 10. I think this was a really good episode. And that's great, because we're now this episode's leading into the final episode. So yeah. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, my friends. I'll see you guys next week. Peace out.